Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the Soelpec XR-5 digital display unit, aka a sim racing dashboard. Now this isn't going to be a very long video because a dashboard does what a dashboard does, so I'm not going to kick the backside out of it. But this is possibly the best sim racing dashboard that I've ever used, and in this video I'm going to try and explain why. But before we dive in, the necessary disclaimer: Soelpec sent me this unit to test and use, so I didn't pay for it. Although they don't get to see this video before it's published, and they've got no input at all in relation to what I say, and I'm not affiliated with Soelpec in any way, shape or form. So there's no affiliate links, there's no kickbacks. I don't get any financial compensation if you buy one of these dashboards. I'm just going to try and give you my opinion as a sim racer. Now, I'll give you a look at the dashboard first of all. So it is your typical 5-inch Vocor screen with a resolution of 854 by 480. It's got an aluminium black casing, like a matte finish. Very, very nice indeed. We've got 15 RGB LEDs across the top. We've got 4 on the left and on the right. And we've got 2 RGB LED strips on the bottom and also 2 RGB backlit buttons. I'll talk about those a little bit more in a little while. I'll give you a look at the side and the top if I can, just to show you the quality. I'll show you the back. I'll talk about the mounting in a little while, which is one of the reasons why it's my favorite. But you can see on the back, very nice. And then we've got one USB port, USB-C port on the bottom. Very, very nice indeed. Now, when I'm looking at products, there are usually 4 things that I'm interested in. Firstly, how does it look? Because if it doesn't look right, I'm not going to buy it. Secondly, what's the build quality like? Thirdly, how does it perform? And finally, is it value for money? So we'll look at the first 2 first of all. So looks-wise, aesthetics. I mean, it's a sim racing dashboard. How nice can one look? But this probably looks as nice as you can get them to look. So I think it looks good in the matte black finish. I mean, this wouldn't look out of place on any sim rig anywhere in the world. I'll say that. It looks really, really nice. It doesn't really get much better than this. The only thing that I would have liked is the RGBs on the top. There is a recess on there. I would have liked it to be glass across the front, you know, so the whole front glass, if that makes sense, just so it's all flush. That's the only thing that would make this more aesthetically pleasing to me anyway. I know that's subjective, but I think it looks really, really nice. Like I mentioned, it wouldn't look out of place on any rig anywhere. Build quality, well, I'm not going to take it to pieces and have a look inside, so I'm only going to be looking at it from the outside, from an external point of view. And build quality is absolutely incredible. Everything is flush. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. You know, when it got delivered, absolutely perfect. So it does come with 2 carbon fiber mounts, one which I've already got fitted. You can see one's kind of recessed on there for the countersunk bolts that are on the back. And there's also another one here, which equally is as nice. It really is nice. Now this one, you can see I've got fitted with a GoPro style mount. Now, that's one of the reasons why I really like this. So you get this also in the kit. So that would fit on there like so. And that would fit onto the back of the dashboard. So you can actually mount this with any GoPro fitment. And it all fits together beautifully well. And it's got a 1/4 inch thread just on there. Hopefully you can see that there. It's got a 1/4 inch thread on there. So you can attach any kind of tripod, mic arm. You can attach the arms, which I actually use for holding my camera and lighting. I'll show a picture of those on screen now. So you can actually attach those to the back of this and pretty much place it anywhere around your rig. You wouldn't actually have to have it right behind your steering wheel. I don't know why you would do that, because it's a dashboard. It's supposed to be on the dashboard, but there is some flexibility. And everything comes in the box. All of the nuts, bolts, Allen keys, etc. Everything comes with it. Brilliant. Now, onto performance. So to use this dashboard, you need to be running SimHub. So we'll jump in SimHub now. So like I mentioned, you need to have SimHub running on your system to use the Soelpec XR-5 display. Now, you download the plugin from the Soelpec website, dead easy, run that, and then restart SimHub. When you next restart SimHub, it will ask you if you want to display the Soelpec plugin on the left-hand side. You can see it there on the left-hand side. So if we click that, you can see this is where we can configure the dashboard itself. So here's a graphical representation of the screen. Now, if you look down here, left thumb mode 1, left thumb mode 2, they are just pieces of information which can be displayed. And this is where we can change them. So on the bottom left of the dashboard, for example, if we wanted to have fuel mix, we could click that and that's it done. It would show the fuel mix. If we wanted to put it on traction control, we do that. Dead easy. You just do that with all of the little pieces of information and widgets. Now here we can set our driver tag. So you just literally type in there what you want displayed on the screen. If you don't want it, you can just disable it. So we've got some more configuration down below. So blackout dashboard mode, gear indicator, red light warning, disable speed indicator, night mode, various different things that you configure down to your presets. So you can actually change the preset names, whichever one you want, just to configure it a little bit more to suit you. We'll go back up to the top XR5 display. We've got some more customization in here. We've got the LED bar delta display that you'll see in the video. We've got the breathing animations. We can also choose how we want our RPM LEDs to be displayed. I just like the linear blue to red. But once you've got all this set up and saved, you never have to touch this again. So as you can see there is quite a bit of configuration that you can do within SimHub, just to make it unique to you. And if you wanted to, you can stick any dashboard from SimHub on this display. But if you do that, I think you're going to be missing out on all of those features. So speaking of features, let's jump into the sim and I'll show you it in action. So we'll take it out on track and show you what it's like in a live session. Now the screen is a touch screen, and if you tap on the left hand side, you can cycle through all of these color themes, and if we press on the right hand side, it will cycle back through. There are quite a few to choose from, but I quite like Arctic. I'll put it back on that one. There also is a dark mode on this dashboard, and you can configure that in SimHub and set a button to your steering wheel. I've got it set to this one here, and if we press that, it just dims everything down and makes things a little bit more comfortable on the eye. Now, on the bottom, you've got some RGB strips here, and on the left-hand side, when you're driving, that's your delta going red, and on the right-hand side, when you're green on the delta, that turns green. You've got RGB LEDs on the side, and you've got RGB LEDs across the top, and you've also got two touch buttons here, RGB backlit buttons, and I'll show you what they do when we get out there on track. So a little nice pit animation there. You can see on screen here on the left, we've got track temperature, air temperature, track temperature, session timer, local time, position, lap, the strength of field, how many incident points, the lap delta, driver in front or behind, some lap information on here, TC, controls, brake bias. You can see if I change the brake bias, it changes it on the fly. And you can see, because we're red on the delta to our best ever lap, I think that's now red. And then we've got the fuel map information in the middle now. If we press the right hand button, you can see now it's got the lap information on there. If we press it once, it gives us a real-time relative. So in a race, that gives us a real-time relative. Press it again, we've got a nice little track map with some weather information, some wind information on there. Go back to the lap timing. On the left-hand side, if we press that one, gives us the real-time telemetry from the simulator. So there's our accelerator and brake traces there. Press it again, gives you some tyre information. Really useful in rFactor 2 Le Mans Ultimate. And we'll go back to this information here, which is really useful. Driver in front and behind, and some fuel information and your fuel usage. Now, we'll get around this lap and I'll show you what the delta's like at the bottom. You can see the RGB is really nice there, really nice and clear. So you can see the delta's red at the top there. It shows us we're 20 seconds down. I think that's on our best ever lap. So I'll put the delta onto the session best lap. And I'll turn off the reference car. We don't want to be seeing that. And then I'll do a lap, a relatively slow lap. And then I'll show you what the delta looks like at the bottom. Right, so we're going to be coming up to start a new lap now. And if you just keep an eye on the delta bar at the bottom, you can see it's red there at the moment. We're 4 seconds down. But then it will start to change as we go around this lap. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit quicker so I can demonstrate what it actually looks like. There you can see it's starting to glow at the bottom there, and the further we are into the green, the brighter that delta bar will become, hopefully. There, so it's nice and bright now. 7/10 up. Gives us a predicted lap. Best lap, predicted lap, last lap. The screen is so clear as well, like really clear. We're also well into the green on the delta, and that's solid. And then it changes for the next lap. So if we go a bit slower here, it's starting to glow red. Brilliant. Nice little feature, that. Really nice. And then again, you can just cycle through the track map. Really useful as well. If you're not that familiar with the circuit, you can put that on just to give you a helping hand. Really nice. So let's talk about performance. I thought it performed brilliantly. Really snappy, no lag, absolutely incredible. The way you can just cycle through those little widgets on the displays is excellent. A really, really nice touch. So absolutely no issues setting it up. It was completely reliable. It didn't fail once. But a dashboard does what a dashboard does. It does what you expect it to do, what you need it to do. And it does that brilliantly. Now, finally, onto value for money. Now, this is very subjective. It depends how deep your pockets are, and it depends how much you would value this kind of equipment. Now, this is €359 plus taxes and shipping. So for me in the UK, if I bought this for €359, it's €25 shipping. And then I would have probably import duty, VAT at this side. So it's going to cost me well over €400 to buy this in the UK. Would I spend my money on this display? Well, not at the moment, but that's very specific to me and my setup. I don't run any DDUs on my rig because of the way it's placed. My monitor is in line with the front of my wheelbase. When I put a DDU on there, I can't see the bottom of my screen at all. And my sim is iRacing. That's what I play most regularly. And I can't access the replay, camera controls, and all the other stuff at the bottom of the screen. So this is definitely on the expensive side. And I guess it just depends if those extra features are going to be worth it to you. Yes, you could put a mobile phone on there and just have a dashboard, but you don't have all of the features that the Soelpec has. It's definitely one of the better dashboards on the market. And like I mentioned at the beginning, probably my favorite, but it's still a lot of money. If you've got a few extra quid in your pocket and you don't mind spending it on your hobby, then you'll probably buy one. If you don't, then you probably won't. It's really that simple. So this dashboard gets a huge thumbs up from me. Looks wise, I think it looks brilliant, although I would like to see just a piece of glass on the front covering everything really, just so the front is flush. Build quality was absolutely incredible. It performed exceptionally, but it is expensive. And it's not one of the sim racing necessities. It's just a nice to have type thing. If money was no object and I had pockets full of cash, yeah, I would buy one. No problem. That's the only thing. You just need to figure out if it's for you, probably for that reason. So I want to say a massive thank you to Soelpec for sending me this to test and use. Will I use it? Will it be on my rig? Probably not, but that's only because of my setup and where my screens are. If I go bigger, if I get bigger screens and they're a little bit further away from my wheelbase, 100% I'll use it. So I'll leave a link down below in the description. Go and check it out. Like I mentioned at the beginning, that's not an affiliate link, so I don't get any kickbacks if you buy one. But if you are interested, go and check it out in the link below. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great week. See you later. Cheers.